What the hell? Oh, they're still loading in. So it should pop up and we can pop in, right? Oh, what is going on?
Oh, man.
There we go.
Be smooth out here. Have a good day. Be ready here. Green, green, green. Car there from the outside. All clear. Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Clear all around. Inside, inside. Bottom lane clear, bottom lane.
You coming out?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't say that like I'm live, so I'm trying to figure out exactly why I'm not live. It's acting as if like it's not recording, and that's what's. Ooh, man. Broadcast gameplay. I don't know if I'm actually.
Well, Pottles is going to take the lead off of turn number 4 and the 5.
Oh, they just started. It should be. Well,
Yeah, they just started, but I don't know what. Here comes the 8 to the inside of the 5 as they come on to turn number 2 down the backstretch. Not going to get it. Here comes the 15 looking to the outside.
Alright, guys.
Come off at turn number 4 again.
Hopefully I am broadcasting.
I think the live stream's a little off of what the...
Yeah, just a tad. And this is going to be a very, very short, what do you call it, stage, because we had to restart like 3 times. But right now we do have a battle up front. Santel take that middle line, kind of taking Jesus' line away. Or excuse me,
He was
car,
there, but...
Kyle's, and the 15 of Dylan all running in a pack. 6 cars.
Here comes the 20 looking back there in 4th. He's looking to get up there to the front. Got about a 5-car breakaway. And then everybody's running single file behind these guys as they're running side by side, 1st to 4th.
Oh, contact! Oh,
contact.
Dylan and Kyle made contact. Dylan back in the track and 20 hard hitting the outside wall. Oh, I don't know who that was.
Heavy damage to the 20.
Dial.
Nope. We got 3 cars on the track down there in 1 and 2. No caution.
Looks like that'll be a manual caution there, Damien, because that was a big hit. And I do believe it was the 15 of Dylan getting out of shape. But it was after he made contact with Kyle, and then trying to overcorrect, he just bounced right into Dial. And I mean, that was a hard lick to that outside wall. I can imagine.
That 20's got very heavy damage to that 20 car. So hopefully they come down pit road and get that ream number 20 fixed up for him. And he looked pretty strong on that last run right there.
Yeah. There's actually damage on Dial's car as well. So we are under caution. Only 4 laps to go in the stage. We imagine that those guys that are in the back of the pack, I believe pit road might be open this time by, so the leaders are going to stay out here.
The 20 is on pit road right now. So we'll get an update on the 20.
Lots of front end damage right there. Suspension right front. Pretty well crumpled up.
So hopefully they can fix that 20 car and get him back out there and get him to the front. He was looking pretty fast in that last run before this caution came out. I feel the cause of that caution was just hard racing right there. I don't think it was really anybody's fault. It was just all hard racing, and everybody just ran out of real estate.
Car there is on the outside.
Yeah, unfortunately,
All right, now you're clear.
the person that perhaps might have caused that, Kyle, he did not get any damage from that. That's kind of how it goes, don't you think?
Yeah, that happens from time to time. I've seen some pretty strange things go around the world of NASCAR here. We've seen guys take on heavy hits and flips and just come away with the car looking perfect. And they just get lucky. So the 20 is back on track, still with a little bit of damage left to the front end of that 20 car. But he's hoping to get that back out there and get back to the front. And we got the 60 pulling out of the pits. He's coming back to the track.
These guys are going to need to slow it down, or otherwise they're going to have only just one lap left to go in the stage. I believe Chantel's trying to keep it down under 50. The 20 car did, in fact, pit before pit road was open, so that's also insult to injury there as far as starting at the end, but you can take the penalty, I believe.
Well, they're going to
so
probably
up
have
front, it'll be Chantel and Kyle. Jason, that 78 car, the 0 car on the outside, and then the 60 rounding out that Adam.
The 89 just came out of pit road, so we got a slow car coming out of the pits.
They're going green right here.
That's going to cost that 89 big time because he's just coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch. The field's going to be hitting him roughly about full speed as they come down the backstretch.
The important thing, though, Damien, here is that we're coming to 1 to go in the stage, so he doesn't, as long as he doesn't go a lap down, and even if he did,
he'd still be okay
get the benefit.
He'd get the wave around, so.
Exactly, but right now, this is for the stage win. Chantel up front, Kyle trying to find a way around.
Are they going to make contact? No.
Ooh, Kyle has the position hung right on that right rear corner panel, trying to get that side draft and work his way on the outside. Now they're side by side. His teammate should go right here with him.
They're going to be 3 wide as they come off of 2.
That's going to help
strong to the inside.
That's going to help Kyle on the outside as Chantel tries to fight underneath, walks up the racetrack. Kyle is there. Will they make it 3 wide at the stripe? Kyle still sticking to the outside. Chantel's going to lose it. It's going to cost her a stage win. Kyle gets it done on the outside. Stage 1 winner to Kyle.
That was some great racing right there for the end of the stage. And we also had another 3 wide battle back there for, looked like 4th, 5th, and 6th as the top 3 were running. And it looks like somebody made some contact back here. We got some more cars with a little bit of damage back here after the end of the stage.
Yeah, I did see that. Looks like
the 60 cars got some damage. Everybody's going to all bunch back up here again. We're going to let them loose for stage number 2.
This was a very, very, very short stage. But again, in the essence of time, we are only doing a 25% race instead of a 50% race. Kyle looked dominant in that first stage, and he looked dominant actually early before we had to restart this race there, Damien. I'm liking the setup on this race car here so far.
I'm liking the 5 car. The 5 car is looking pretty good, too. She can get back out in front. She was holding off pretty good. She was holding them off. See if she gets a good restart here.
Adam,
green flag's out.
60 car. Remember,
he to the inside. Yes, the 60 stayed out to get track position. That's a very wise choice, but is it going to save him? She's all over the back bumper. Look at giving them a little push as they come through 1 and 2.
Dial has also rebounded nicely, still on the bottom of the racetrack. Teammates working that high side up front. Meanwhile, the 60 Adam trying to figure out what lane to block. Chantel, we haven't seen her venture up to the outside right now. The inside line has been kind of her wheelhouse. Can she use that to her advantage and get around the 60 car?
She was looking for maybe a peek down there. I saw her look down there as they were coming off of turn 4. She was looking for a chance to see if it would fit, but did not take it. I think that was a smart move on her side.
Running in mid-pack like she is right now. What are you doing? Oh, contact right there!
No.
Almost gonna be in the wall! Hard hit for Jeese, and Jeese is in the inside wall hard as well. I don't know if she came up or somebody came down, but the 78 car of Jeese, hard hit into the inside wall after contact with Chantel, and we stay under green. That's really gonna hurt the 78.
big time. That is really going to hurt his chances. He's going to lose the field big time as they roll through turns 1 and 2, and he's going to be coming down the front stretch.
8 to go, 7 to go at the stripe, and I wish we had the benefit of a replay right there, but I was riding along with the 5 car. Looked like he tried to fill the gap, perhaps trying to go to the outside, but the 78 car unfortunately was there, and then Geese with the contact into the outside wall, no control, and that sent that car spinning, and a hard hit to the inside wall. He's going to need a caution. He'll get it here in 6 laps, but he'll have to restart in the back of the back because there's a lot of damage on that machine.
The other thing that surprises me is the 60 car sitting comfortably in second right now after not pitting under that last caution at the end of stage 1. That's really surprising. Those older tires are actually holding up pretty well for him.
Well, he was only on pit road just 2 laps before, and he really didn't have to go very hard on them. But you're right, those are older tires on that machine, but I like the strategy here, the call to pit that car and then just kind of wait it out. He missed out on some stage points, but that enabled him to be able to stay out. And now look at him, I think that's a long-term gain right now running second.
And here comes the 5 of Chantel. She's closing in on the 20 as they run down the backstretch. She's going to reel them in as they go into turn number 3. All over his back bumper.
Dial for a second. You remember Dial was the one that was involved in that incident, but right now we see that inside line. Chantel really has her car hooked up to the bottom.
Very well, as he's going to battle back to the outside. He's going to have the spot. I think he had the spot at the line. That was really tough to call. I think they were dead even as they came across the start-finish line. They're still side by side into 1 and 2. Looks like the 60's starting to reel in the 8 a little bit.
Yeah, staying in the draft. That 60 car who did not have the best season at all, one of the worst seasons on record.
And then the teammates, the 0 and the 15, they're racing side by side through 3 and 4. A lot of side by side action back here. And it looks like the 89 is slowly starting to reel these guys in. You can see him off in the distance back there behind these guys. So he's made up some ground on them, but not too bad.
Meanwhile, up front, the 78 of Kyle continuing to lead here at the stripe. He's going to come to 3 to go. Keep in mind, pit road will be closed. I don't believe anybody will try to dive onto pit road early because you will lose a lap here to the leaders. So it's not going to benefit you toward the end of this race. 3 to go at the stripe, and these guys are pulling away. Meanwhile, the battle is heating up for 3rd place.
Yes, very good battle between these guys as they Pottles is going to pull away into turn 1. She's going to have the spot as they run through the middle of 1 and 2. 20 is going to sit to the outside. He's going to be comfortable in 4th.
Dylan, haven't talked much about him as of late, was involved in that earlier incident as well, running the 5th position. Haven't shown the speed, and you see a little bit of right front damage. He got into the wall there, perhaps in the stage that might be hurting him. 2 to go at the stripe. Kyle continuing to lead and has put a little bit of a distance in front of him in that 60 car.
Yes, the 60 car is still trying to catch him with those older tires, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch him.
Chantel still running in the 3rd position. Dial giving chase right behind here. Those guys have about, I would say, 2 seconds off the pace. And you see the 15 car just bounce off the wall again. Malik, his teammate, able to get around him. Coming to 1 to go at the stripe for the end of stage 2. Kyle looking to go back to back.
Dial in the 20 was going for a dive under the 5 as they came down the front stretch, and Pottles came for the block and she held him off. But he's going to look to the outside as they run through 1 and 2. Not going to get the spot. She's going to hold it
up as the 60 car settling in second. I like that call. That put that car some excellent stage points going to that 60 car because of that call. Meanwhile, let's see the battle for 3rd. The 5 of Chantel, the 20 of Dial. Crisscross applesauce. It's not going to work. Dial is going to have to come up 1 position short as Kyle wins the stage. 60 car in second, Chantel in 3rd. Those are your podium winners here for stage 2 as we fall under caution here for the 3rd time stage today.
We're going to start the final stage. Who's going to be the man? Who's going to take pit stops? Who's not? We should see green flag pit stops here in the final stage. So that could change up the race here.
It'll be interesting on that strategy because it's not going to be a 50% race like a lot of these guys probably expected in practice for. So that's going to change strategy on pit road. These guys are going to have to react to that. 2 tires, perhaps no tires, and a splash of fuel. We'll see what our run to the end is as far as a full tank of fuel. These guys can make it on 21 laps, and it looks like 29 laps will be, or excuse me, 26 once they go green at the stage. So they'll be 5 laps short.
So we shall see. Maybe a late race green flag pit stop. We'll
allow them to be on the, yeah, a caution should be able to allow them to go together if they get a caution during that final stage. If we don't, these guys will be 5 laps short, excuse me, and they will need to come down pit road. It'll be interesting to see tire wear if that plays a factor.
Yes, very, very so. Let's see. Pottles is going to start on the outside this time for the restart. She started on the inside last restart, had a great restart. And the 8's going to dive to the bottom of the white line down the front stretch. Can he hold off the field as they roll into turn number 1? The 6, he's going to get a run on the outside. And 20 is all over the back bumper of the 8. Got 3 wide back there, about 5th, 6th, 7th, as they rolled through 1 and 2.
Side by side still, Chantel switches lanes to the bottom of the racetrack. Now 3-car draft on the bottom as the 20 Dial looks to take that position away from the 60 car who moved up the racetrack there, lost a little bit of time. Kyle keeping the rest of the field behind them. They are double wide, 2 rows deep. The 20 on the inside, Chantel on the inside as well. The 60 on the outside with Dylan right on his track. Kyle trying to get away in turn 2.
Yeah, Dylan's looking strong. He's hopefully found something in that 15 car that'll hook him back up towards the front. And Chantel's looking to maybe get her number 5 back to the front as well. She was very strong early on in this race.
Look at the 78 the progress made after he was involved in that incident that did not bring out a caution there, Damien. He's running in the 6th position right there. That makes it a 6-car battle up front. Those guys behind them, though, haven't had a lot as far as making their way up front. Those 2 cars, I believe that's the 89 and the, excuse me, let me take a look there, and the 0, Malik. Malik was up front there, losing a little bit of time early, perhaps saving fuel. Can you save 5 laps of fuel here at Kansas?
I think if you do it right, oh, we had a car on the wall. I think that was the 15 scraping the wall in 3 and 4 over there. A lot of dicing and sliding around. Somebody hit the grass here in the front stretch. Somebody's doing a little lawn care for the speedway.
I believe if you're going to stick to that strategy of saving fuel, you've got to commit to it early there. You can't just do it at just one point in time. They're at 23 to go, coming to 22 at the striping. We said that these guys could make it on 21 laps of fuel, so I don't think it's out of the question. The question is, though, if you're going to do that, you must commit to it for the full run. I don't think you can do that perhaps right in halfway when you're trying to figure out how to beat these guys up front.
And if the other thing that comes into mind is if we do stay green this whole time is how is the green flag pit stop's going to play out? Who's going to do it and who's not? Who's going to try to save enough to make it to the end?
21 to go. This would be now. These guys can make it if they decided to pit right now. Do you think anybody short pits?
I don't think anybody will. I think it's all about track position right now. I don't think anybody wants to give up right now. I think everybody's going to stay out, run a couple more laps, and then figure out what's going on from there.
Kyle has been the class of the field. He's won stage 1, he's won stage 2, but right now Santel dedicated to that bottom line, and right now she's actually making up a little bit of time on the 8 car right there, at least not losing any time as Dial tries to bust out of the pack and tries to get in touch with her as well. Those guys running 2nd and 3rd. Kyle continuing to lead here.
Yeah, Chantel's looked pretty strong in that bottom lane, man. She's really made it work today. Seems like she's been the only car that could actually get it to stick down there most of the track.
Damon, you've been running right 2nd all day long. A dominant car like Kyle in front of you. What do you do, and how are you feeling inside the race car? What are you trying to do to get around him?
Try not to get flustered and take your time, run your lines, and just look for a little mistake. If he makes one little mistake, you got to be there to pounce on it. She's close enough. If he makes one slight mistake, she's right there. She can pounce on it. As we got a 3-wide battle coming out of turn number 2. They were 3 wide for a moment as they came out of turn number 2. It looks like the 20 is going to prevail out of the 3-wide battle as the 60 and the 15 are going to be side by side as they come off of turn number 4.
this is the longest we've possibly gone green as far as in a run here at Kansas. And we can see, ooh, the 60 car bounce off the wall right in front of Jeez right now. Handling could start to become an issue late in the stage as well. That's going to play a factor as to perhaps taking 2, 4 tires or just a splash of gas. I don't think you can run 25 laps on these tires, do you?
I don't think so. I've heard a lot of drivers say the tire fall off is pretty good here. The high lane, it really just eats the tires away. It really eats the right sides. If you time it right, you can actually save somewhat, but I don't feel like they're gonna have enough to save. I feel these guys will end up having to pit pretty soon, get some tires here, and see what happens.
17 to go at the stripe. The gap continuing to increase, at least between second and third. Chantel hasn't gained any ground, but she's hard hit, and the 60 car loses it right in front of the 70 into the wall. He'll go immediately on pit road right there. That's a smart move by the 60 car after he lost it in turn number 4, right down pit road, but damage on that machine. We'll have to see if that plays a factor as we go right along with him right now. Big hit on the 60.
With him hitting pit road, is that going to change anybody's mind as they roll through, as the leaders go into turn 3, about middle of turn 3 and 4 right now? Is that going to change any of these guys' mind with him sitting on pit road at the moment?
Well, my other question right now continues to be, did he get on pit road under the pit road speed? I believe it's 45 miles per hour. He made such a rash decision after losing the car. You also see damage on that machine, so they're going to have to repair that. And that's quite a lengthy pit stop. I don't know how hard he hit the wall right there, but I'm going to say he didn't get on pit road. Yeah, he's being held. Speed. Yeah, he's being held right there, or he has a lot of damage on the machine, one of the two, but that's not really going to help his chances of winning unless we can cycle
coming
through.
out of turn number 4 from the 5. She got a little loose coming off of turn number 4. I took a look on to see how she was running. She has dropped a back from the race leader as I just saw the 20 scrape the outside wall coming off of turn number 4. We got the 0 on pit road. He's got some front end damage.
This is the part we were talking about, how this is the longest these guys have all raced in a run right now. Handling definitely playing a factor, I believe. Only car that seems to be perfect right now, even on this old set of tires, seems to be the 8 of Kyle. Hasn't really bobbled once.
I've noticed as the 20 and the 15, they are running actually really close to the outside wall. They were running the Kyle
15
Larson
made a mistake.
line.
Right in front, you saw the 78 car G's have to give right there, but the 15 on Dylan trying to give it all, maybe too much, and he got into the wall. Look at the ton of time he lost in relation to the 20 car.
That was a big bobble as they run through the turn, and looks like Chantel has lost some more ground on that number 8 car. I think her tires are starting to roll away, but that 8 car is looking pretty strong. He just keeps running and chucking away.
With tire wear falling off right now, don't you think it behooves these guys that are running 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and even 5th to try and get in front and play offense on the strategy? Don't you think they should go down pit road now?
If I was sitting 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I would say these 3 guys would probably be smart enough to maybe try to hit pit road before these 2 leaders sitting 1st and 2nd. Oh, looks like we do have a taker. The 78 looks like he's coming down pit road.
Jeez, yep, and we'll try to see if it's going to be a 2-tire or 4-tire pit. He was able to slow down, I do believe, underneath NASCAR's limit for the speed on pit road. Now, what will he do right here? 4 tires or 2? That's the question right there.
Now let's see, the 8's running the high side through 3 and 4. He's coming out pretty high. Chantel moved up to the high side coming through 3 and 4. Oh, we got another taker to pit road. The 15's coming down pit road.
Yes, that is Dylan. And the 78 car, that was a pretty lengthy pit stop. I believe he took 4 tires right there. That was a 4-tire pit stop.
Could that hurt him? Pottles moves back down to the bottom.
It might be enough. He'll make up some significant time, but was he too far behind in order to catch back up to the field?
5 is coming down pit road. Great radio communication. 5 is coming to pit road right now. So she ducks off the track.
15 of Dylan also deciding to take 4 tires and Sunoco fuel as well. A lot of these guys are doing 4-tire pit stops That's surprising to me. I would think 2 tires would keep them up front.
I feel the 2 tires would work out a little better. But it sounds like the 8's going to... Here comes your race leader. He's coming down now for turn number 4 now. He's slowing down, getting it down to speed. Perfect timing. No problem coming off. No tire spin to wear out the tires even more. He saved it and got it down perfect. So the 78 rolls into turn number 3.
5 car took 2 tires. Chantel taking 2 tires. Let's ride along with our leader, the 8 car, Kyle. Now, green flag pit stops. If you're just now joining us, underway here at Kansas. The 8 car you mentioned there, Damien, on pit road perfectly. The 5 car was the first car to take 2 tires. She got out front. Let's see what Kyle does right here. We're watching the stop clock as he makes his pit stop.
And she's rolling down the backstretch as she just enters turn 3, about the middle of turn 3 and 4 right now. She's going to be coming off of turn number 4, so if she can get out in front of him, she should be your race leader.
2 tires, the call for the 8 car of Kyle as well. Now it all comes down to if these guys at the front of the field.
She smacked the wall a little bit here in the front stretch.
Kyle and Santel taking 2 tires.
Looks like he's on the inside of turn number 2, and here she comes right behind him. She's going to be at full speed, so she should have the advantage on him as they roll down the backstretch into turn number 3.
She might have gotten cleanly better on pit road right there, but Kyle still has the advantage, and now at the stripe it will be coming down to, I believe, just 9 laps to go. Let's see where the 5 car and the 8 car are in relationship to the 78. These guys all went down pit road with 4 tires. 78 car is
just coming out of turn number 2
as well. So those guys took 4 tires, right? I believe the 20 car took 4 tires. He might be the closest.
But I believe the only mistake that the 5 had was when she was coming down the front stretch to catch him as he was coming out of the pit. She did give the wall right here about a little bit of a tap, so that could have slowed her momentum down. She did have a good run coming down the front stretch, and that slight little hesitation of tapping that wall could have just killed her little momentum. So that little mistake could cost her the race.
Yeah, I just don't see 4 tires really playing a factor at the stripe. They're coming to 5 to go, and riding along with Dial, he just hasn't been able to make up that time.
Is on pit road.
These guys were trying to.
89 has just hit pit road.
They were trying to string it out. This should cycle the lead, back to Kyle in that 8 car. Santel just hasn't had the speed that 8 car has shown all day long.
That 8 car has been very strong, and I'm very impressed with the run he's been doing. He's been sticking to the outside lane all race long. Has not really hit the bottom much. So maybe today was the outside lane's preferred line, like everybody's been saying, but Chantel has been really working that bottom lane. I noticed she's moved up about maybe half a lane.
Oh, Kyle made a mistake into the wall right there. Kyle made a mistake the first time all day long, and you see what it does. Chantel now can sniff the draft off the back bumper of the 8 car, but the 8 car gets going again. You don't want to make a mistake. Could possibly those inside tires, those left side tires, be giving out right now?
That could happen.
4 to go.
If he makes another mistake, she could capitalize. That's what we talked about earlier before the pit stops. If he made small mistakes like that, she has to be close enough to capitalize. She just was not close enough to capitalize on that slight mistake from him. But she did pull in a little bit, so that could help her if he makes another mistake here, coming late into the race.
Geese and Dial are making up enough time, but it's just not going to be enough as they come to the stripe.
It'll be 2 to go. In the grass in 1 and 2. The 89 is down in the grass in turns 1 and 2.
Single car incident on the southern end of the speedway there, but looks like we stay green. He keeps it on the inside wall. Yes, they're coming to 1 to go, Damien. If Kyle can keep it together, victory is his.
Yes, very so. He will see the Sunoco checkered flag, and she's going to finish second if she holds on strong, but I don't think she's going to have any contention for that second spot.
White flag is in the air, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. All eyes are on Kyle as he has thoroughly dominated today's event here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Started up near the front of the pack, has swept all 2 stages, now looking for his 3rd stage. Santel, can she get it done? She has 1 more shot, but she's not close enough.
She's not close enough. It looks like he's going to pull it off of turn number 4. And it looks like the checkered flag is going to fly for the number 8 of Kyle as he comes off of turn number 4. Kyle wins it in Kansas. What a dominant performance from that 8.
Finishes in second, Dial in third. Jeez running in the 4th position. Dylan in 5th. Malik rounding out in 6th. Adam, that 60 car, in 7th. The rest of the field following suit. Danny and the 89 in the back of the pack. Congratulations to Kyle there. He thoroughly dominated here today. What a great win for that 8 car.
That was a very dominant performance between those 2 drivers for first and second. They were the cars to beat, and I think with the small mistakes that Chantel made earlier in the race, it did cost her that win. But she did good. I'm very excited with what we saw here today. It was very good, clean racing after everybody got, spread out, and it was great racing. I'd be a happy fan here today.
Yes. Not a lot of wrecks right there, but definitely some strategy at the end. Ultimately, I believe these guys, both Chantel and Kyle, they kept up with the racetrack and they kept up with the strategy. I think 2 tires was the correct call. With such a short race, I don't believe we just didn't see the time made up by the 78 and the 20 when they decided to go with 4 tires.
Yes, very so. I believe if the race was a little bit longer, I do believe the 20 of Dial and them would have caught those front 2 with taking just 2 tires.
All right, so congratulations to Kyle. He is your winner here. 4th fastest. Looks like Dial, the 20 car, had the fastest car here today, but it's going to be Kyle sweeping the victory here, the Kansas Lottery 300. From all of us on NASCAR Heat 3, we hope you enjoyed today's PTM X